This reading assignment is about the scientific method. After reading, you should be able to describe a scientific question and explain the scientific method. How many angels can dance on the head of a pin? This is a question that has been pondered over the centuries. Can it be answered using the scientific method? Is it a scientific question? The goal of science. The goal of science is to answer questions about the natural world. Asking and answering questions is integral to the process of science. Scientific questions must be testable. Which of these two questions is a good scientific question and which is not? What is the age of our planet Earth? How many angels can dance on the head of a pin? The first is a good scientific question. It can be answered by age-dating rocks and by using other techniques. The second question cannot be answered using data. It is not a scientific question. Scientific method. Scientists use the scientific method to answer questions. The scientific method is a series of steps. These steps help scientists, or even just people, investigate a question. Often, students learn that the scientific method goes from step to step to step in a specific order, like so. Ask a question. A question can be based on one or more observations or on data from a previous experiment. Do some background research. Create a hypothesis. Use your imagination and reasoning skills. Conduct experiments or make observations to test the hypothesis. Gather the data. Use logical reasoning to formulate a conclusion. In reality, however, the process doesn't always go in a straight line. The scientist might ask a question and then start doing some background research. During this research, he may discover that his original question needed to be asked in a different way, or that an entirely different question should be asked. As a result, he is brought back to the first step of the scientific method. Ask a question. Now, let's look at a scientific question. Remember that it must be testable. We learned in the previous concept, scientific explanations and interpretations, that the average global temperature has been on the rise. Scientists know that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas trap heat in the atmosphere. This leads us to a question. Is the amount of carbon dioxide in Earth's atmosphere changing? This is a good scientific question because it is testable. How has carbon dioxide in the atmosphere changed since 1958? See figure 1.1. The line on the graph is going up, so carbon dioxide has increased. About how much has it increased in parts per million? Here it's gone from 320 to 400, so nearly 80 parts per million. So we've answered the question. We've used data from research that has already been done. Fortunately, scientists have been monitoring CO2 levels over the years. If they hadn't, we'd have to start these measurements now. Because this question can be answered with data, it is testable. So in summary, scientific questions must be testable. Scientists use the scientific method to answer questions about the natural world. Now, go back to Google Classroom, click on the link, it will take you to a video, and then answer these 5 questions here.